Hello, there's a few things I wanted to show you on the Blind Knight. So I want to create this little video just to show you those things. First, the the pommel is stored under the hilt here. There's some foam padding under the burlap to just to disguise the foam. So there's your pommel, which can just screw it on there. Doesn't fit in the box, unfortunately, with the pommel on. So I made that little storage area for it. And then it's off right now, but obviously these will blink when it's powered on. And then you have your activation button, single press, and then you have your auxiliary. I did not glue. There's this little plate here. You can lift this up if you wanted to access the dip switches. The dip switches do have springs that allows the switch to pop back up. So if you pop this, just make sure you don't lose these little dip switches and the springs. And if you want, you can always put a little dab of glue, maybe on those edges, but it holds in place pretty well. It has not fallen out. I would probably just not glue it. And just keep pushing it down from time to time if you're playing with it or whatever you're doing with it. Okay, so the important thing here. This is a fully removable chassis. This is the master chassis from Goth. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So right now, it's in to the right. To take the chassis out, turn it to the left. Do not use a lot of force. And then just pull it out. So these are your buttons, right, that are being pressed. So your activation, your auxiliary. There's a kill switch right here, on off, and that's a charge port. That's a 1.3 charge port, not a 2.1. You got your soundboard under this little black piece. You got your crystal chamber. That little thing slides. You could pretend that it's like a power gauge. This little piece here gets glued on to the speaker, which is why when you're taking the chassis in and out, don't apply. It doesn't need a lot of pressure, or you don't need to put a lot of strength into it. Always fearful that the glue might come undone, so just be careful with it. So turning it on, pop the kill switch. And then you got your little blinky lights. You can activate it with a single push. The pattern I copied from Luke Skywalker's Return of the Jedi. It's 9 green blinks, 6 red blinks, and the pattern just repeats. Figured that'd be a nice touch. The crystal in the crystal chamber will mimic the LED. It is an RGB LED. We can shut it off. We can change with a long press.
The force will be with you.
I'm pretty sure I have 3 sound fonts on here. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 sound banks. So you can cycle through them just with a long press.
You better get moving. We better get moving.
And then holding the auxiliary down, it'll cycle through blasters. If it's single press, holding it down will trip the flash unclash. The sound card, probably hard to see, but it's under. Well, you'll see it when you get it, but it's under there. If you do need to take the sound card out, you know, pair of tweezers or something small, just push in and it'll pop out. You got your battery, and you can leave it on. These things conserve so much power when it's when you leave it on. I don't even bother taking turning the kill switch off or trying to use like a kill key. It will go into a deep sleep mode, and Plector Labs will say that that battery in deep sleep mode will last a year sitting on the shelf. So no need to go crazy and try to turn it off all the time. Okay, so putting the chassis in, you'll see there's a groove here, and into the heat sink I had to cut a little groove. You want to line that groove up with the activation box or that piece of metal, because, well, you probably can't see, but in there are the dip switches. Right, those dip switches follow the groove, and once you're in, righty-tighty, you'll turn it to the right just a little bit so that the dip switches can contact the activation buttons. So, you know, not a lot of pressure is needed. Just slide it in, get it to that point, and then just a small turn to the right is all that's needed. You'll see the green button, the green LED will light properly when it's turned. So just a small turn is needed. To the left to take it out, to the right to lock it in. Put the pommel back on. It's got a nice speaker. And I have a nice little blade plug in there. It's pretty cool. Okay. And you can see the LED pattern blink. Should be 9 green, 6 red. And you're probably already familiar, but it's a 2-piece system, right? In Star Wars Rebels, he hit himself, you know, so he would take the top off, take the bottom off, and attach it to his belt. So it didn't look like a lightsaber. So you can unscrew this. I don't have an Allen key close by, but you unscrew that just a little bit. You don't have to take the retention screw out, just back it out a little bit, and then this top piece comes out. And then the blade plug, I believe that's the blade plug attachment or retention. The blade plug sits in there pretty nice though, so I don't even know that you need the retention. Put that back on, locks it into place. Yeah, good paint job. It shows just lightly weathered. This is not glued down. If you looked at the assembly, Aaron from Solo's Hold explains how to assemble this in a video. I can send you those links. If I recall, he does not suggest gluing this piece down. So I did not glue it. It rests. It almost is bended in a way that it just grips the hilt, and it's on there. So I did not. Obviously, these grips are glued, but I did not glue the face plate on. There really didn't seem to be a need. These buttons were glued on. Well, not buttons, but you know, whatever these are. On Ezra's, they do act as activation switches, but these are just static. So that's it. Really, the biggest thing I wanted to show you was taking the chassis out. Just small turn to the left is all you need. I tried to glue it so that it lines up, so you know going in. If it's not lined up vertically, you know it's locked in. Little turn to the left, you know it's loose and can slide out. Just get it out enough. Once it's out, your access to your charge port, your kill switch is right there. I'll keep it off during shipping, and so yeah, just slide it out a little bit, and then use your thumbs right here on the end of the chassis to slide it out the rest of the way. Just go slow. Again, you know, make sure that it's lined up properly. Just a little bit of pressure is needed. And that's it. I hope you enjoy this. I love these sabers. I was happy that you had what you did have painted already. You know, it gives me another opportunity to build these things. This one was definitely a lot of fun with this removable chassis. I wish the Ezra one was removable too. All right, man, enjoy. You're gonna love this thing.